Hello, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Julie.
So now we're going to do a lightning review of Kellogg's Pop-Tarts Game by Funko. And it's ages 13 and up, 2 to 6 players. It doesn't have a playing time, but it takes about 20 minutes with 2 players. So with more players, maybe you add 5 to 10 minutes per player. But anyways, it has interesting packaging. You can see that it has silver, just like a Pop-Tart. So it's a card game, and you're racing to be the first to score 30 points. And how do you do that? Well, you're going to have 7 Pop-Tarts drawn randomly from the Pop-Tart deck here, and there's different varieties, different patterns. So it's a set collection game. And you can see each Pop-Tart is worth so many points. Either 1, 2, 3 points. Here's the center, and there's 3 to the right of the center. And like the game Guillotine, you're going to be, the direction of the arrow tells you which Pop-Tart you're going to take on your turn. Either it's going to be a frozen Pop-Tart, and your person, if Julie goes first, she'd be taking this one, unless she manipulates the line here. Or if it's going this way, because you can switch the direction, you can get a toasted Pop-Tart. Now that would be a better move, because this is worth 3 points. And you can have up to 4 Pop-Tarts on your plate here, any combination of toasted or frozen. And you'll start out with 3 action cards, and this is what you can use to manipulate the line. And see what you have. And here we go. This is what happens when you deal it out randomly. You don't get the card that you want to show. All right, so here's one right here. So this is what Julie can do to change the line. Now let's say this 3 was back here, like this. You can play as many cards as you want on your turn. You can play all 3 if you wanted to. So the line started out this way. She plays this to switch the line this way. And swap any 2 Pop-Tart cards that are 2 spaces away. I'll swap any 2 Pop-Tart cards next to each other. So then she can play this one. And then now, you always must take a Pop-Tart where the arrow is. You don't have to play action cards. She'll take this, add it to the toasted side. And then she could eat that for 3 points if she wanted to. But she's going to keep that to try to get this set here. If she does, when she eats the Pop-Tarts, she can get 5 more points, plus the points that the Pop-Tarts are worth. So if she did have this at some point, it doesn't matter for this card if it's frozen or toasted. At some point, she'll say, okay, I'm going to collect that. That's 5 points, plus this would be 10 points. So now she would have 10 points towards that 30. That would take a couple turns to get that, because you only can eat 1 Pop-Tart a turn. But let's see here. So she has this one, so this slides down, and then you flip up a new one for the center. And then she could discard up to 3 cards. So say she didn't play any action cards, she doesn't like them, she could discard them. Say she doesn't like this card, she can discard it, and she'll get 3 more. Her turn would be over. And whoever goes first is the person who at last ate Pop-Tarts. I believe that's what it says. Then it'd be my turn. Now, what is this bonus card? That means you must have 1 green that's toasted and 1 frozen. And this one the same thing, but it's red. So I don't have to play anything. But you always must take a card. So I'll just take this one and go and try to get this one, and hope that I can change the line, and one will come up later. See, right now greens aren't coming up, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this one for a while. But I did prevent Julie from getting this on her turn. So now she can't get either of these as well. So you keep on playing until someone gets 30 points. You keep track of your Pop-Tarts off to the side. Everybody knows how many points people have. And like I said, it's the first to 30 points. And once one of these are collected, you'll reveal another one. So that's how you play Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
All right, so the way we do this is we're going to go over a list of criteria live, and then we'll give our BGG rating. So let's take a look at what we got here.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta go to the right one. All right. So is it a fun game to play? What do you think?
Oh, yes, very much. I really enjoy it.
I think it's fun too. The theme works, that some people do like frozen and some people like toasted. Some people
I like them just the way they are.
Some people like them plain. So that's
Yeah.
interesting that they did it that way.
Yeah.
You could have had it plain.
I just don't even toast them or get them frozen. I just eat them right out of the box.
You know, the art is what you would expect.
Oh, yeah. It makes you want to go eat a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, which is what some people may not like that game for that reason. Because, you know, it is kind of a it's kind of pushing the idea to have you go buy Pop-Tarts, which isn't a problem if you like Pop-Tarts, right?
I think they just took a picture of Pop-Tart.
Maybe.
They look just like it.
The components are average quality for the
Cards.
they're decent. They shuffle well. They're not terrible, but they're not the greatest.
No.
And all the cards are like that. Plenty of cards.
Oh yeah, they work well.
And then we have complexity. What do you think?
I really don't think it's too complex. If you've played Guillotine before, this is like a piece of cake. But if you've never played a game like that before, you might get a little confused, especially with using these cards.
Yeah, this is probably the most
that's
confusing
probably
thing of the game. I
yeah.
agree. That because there could be issues with understanding how they exactly work.
I even have to like really concentrate when I use them of which ones to do.
But there's enough going on here that you have to pay attention. The rule book is fine. It's well done. Okay. But someone who's not used to playing a game like this might be a little challenged. They might have to watch a how to play video.
Yeah.
But I think that it's definitely 13 and up playing age. The 13-year-old can handle it. I think a younger child can handle it.
child could too. Yeah.
And the playing time is fine. But in terms of complexity, I forgot to say this, that it is a little fiddly with the upkeep. So it doesn't play as smooth as other card games, because what you got to do is remember, you don't have to use these.
Right.
And you don't have to eat a Pop-Tart. Once you get a fifth Pop-Tart, you have to eat at least one.
Yeah.
You can only have 5 Pop-Tarts. But the fact that, you got to replace a card and move it to the right, remember to do this, and then take action cards. It's just a little bit more upkeep for a card game than normal card games like Uno. Those are very light. So this would be light to medium complexity, like a 4 out of 10 complexity.
Well, you're like a
huge,
heavier board gamer. Do you think this would keep someone like that interested?
Yeah, this is a filler game.
Okay.
I'm just pointing out, for those who are not used to playing more complicated card games, they could be a little challenged with the upkeep, that's all.
Oh, I see.
They do all the steps. But once you get used to it, it's fine.
Yeah.
But their game will go quicker when someone is helping do that upkeep and when it's not their turn.
True.
So when I'm doing so that's one thing you got to do. You got to have someone helping you do that. So it goes a little slower than other card games. You just play your card, right? Boom, boom, boom. You're just playing cards like that. This one requires more steps between turns. That's all.
Yeah.
And so that's why the complexity is a little bit higher. Let's take a look at the next thing here.
Design and mechanics.
Yeah, the age. So I think a younger child could handle this. They probably did 13 and up for regulation purposes, but I think that an 8-year-old could probably handle this.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, because you do have visuals right here of how to do these. This might need a little assistance, so you can play these face up with an 8-year-old. And help them understand, or help him or her understand how to use them.
I agree.
And the counting's not too bad. I mean, it's basic addition.
So it would be the educational merit then.
Yeah, there's definitely design and mechanics. It's a solid design. Like I said, it's a little fiddly for the in between turns. So it's a solid design. Learning the rules was easy, and educationally, there's definitely math involved.
The math, yeah.
You're going to be adding up to 30. The logic of manipulating the line to get the cards you want, so that's good. So this is something we would have enjoyed playing with our kids when they're younger. Now that they're older, I don't know how much they would. I
don't know.
They would want to play this.
I don't know.
Because there's other games they'd probably rather play. They might say, "Oh, that was kind of cool," and then sit on the shelf.
Yeah.
And not. I don't know how often they would want to play it.
I don't know.
So that's where we get to our rating now.
Okay.
Knowing that there's other games that fit this, like Guillotine, that fill this niche, okay? This is not as complicated as what hobbyists might like as a filler.
True.
But it's more complicated than a game like Uno or other traditional card games.
Yeah.
So you'd have to ask yourself, how often will this hit the table? So how would you rate it?
Probably a 6.
Yeah, I agree with you. 6. It's definitely. I don't mind owning it because we got it on sale.
Yeah.
We got it we got it as a deal. So if you're kind of hesitant, not knowing, I'm not too sure how often we play this, Well, if it's on sale,
It's
I
worth it.
recommend it.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a big fan of Pop-Tarts,
You should get it.
you think this is a game that you're really going to like, set collection game, then you might be okay with paying full price. For us, we probably wouldn't have gotten it if it wasn't on sale. And because it was so inexpensive, we'll keep it for now.
Yeah.
And if we run out of space, we'll decide, do we really want
Well,
to?
I think when we eventually have grandchildren someday, it'll be fun to play it with them because of the bright colors and everything that the kids, I think, that'd be good for them.
Well, it would be a game for variety, right?
Yeah.
And then you let the child that you're playing with, what game do you want to play today? And there's 10 different games. How often would they choose this? I don't know.
I don't know.
But if they choose it, that's great.
Yeah.
But again, you introduce it to them, and then you see if the child wants to continue playing it. But again, it's worth owning for now.
Definitely.
And we'll see if we get to a point where we're out of space, if it goes into our sell pile. So that's what happens when you have a 6. When it's 5 or less, we tend to give it as gifts or take it to one of the conventions where you have a table.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, that's Pop-Tarts. Check it out. I mean, it is solid.
Yep.
You just have to ask yourself, do I already have a card game I'd rather play?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.